everybody. Welcome to Everglades Holiday Park, the gateway to the Everglades. Once again, you are on board with Captain Chandler, and before we get going, I want to make sure everything's working properly, so do me a huge favor. If you guys can hear me, let me hear you make some noise! Alright. I do want to go ahead and let you guys know that this tour is going to be a very fair tour. Now what I mean by that is it doesn't really matter what side of the boat you're on. Left side, right side, both sides are going to have an equal chance to see whatever there is to see out there, as far as I can help it. Now I will say, this is Mother Nature, she's not always predictable. Sometimes things pop up and disappear before I can spin the boat. In the event that that happens, guys, just bear with me. Next time we see something cool, I'll show the other side first. What I don't want is everybody rushing to one side of the boat. If you guys do that, that is a great way to go for an accidental swim. Now, the first thing I want to point out for y'all is going to be these brown and black birds on these orange buoy. Now, these are what are known as the Florida cormorant. Now, they are a subspecies of the double-breasted cormorant. These birds are here all day, every single day. The reason being is because these big buildings to the left of the head, those are water pumps. When they pump that water, they bring a whole lot of fish with it. That's what these guys are after. They're diving birds, and they're absolutely excellent at what they do. They can dive down to depths up to 45 feet and at speeds up to 25 miles per hour in the water in order to catch those fish. I do want to go ahead and tell you guys a little bit about the boat you're on today. Now this lovely vessel right here is what's known as Eldorado. Now Eldorado is powered by two 500 cubic inch Cadillac V8 engines. That's more than 600 horsepower at our disposal. And we're about to use all 600 horses. Guys, we are about to put these pedals to the metal. But before we do so, we do have a few safety precautions. Before we get going, I need everyone to please reach down and buckle their seatbelts. I'm just kidding. There's no seatbelts on Eldorado, but there's no windows either. Guys, it's going to get loud. It's going to get windy. If you have any loose items, any hats, glasses, cell phones, loved ones, anything you don't want flying out of this thing, I recommend holding onto them tightly, okay? We have no brakes. We have no reverse. Anything that leaves the boat on the speed trail probably isn't coming back in, unless our co-captain here goes after it. I don't think he wants to swim in these waters. Jesse here get some distance on us before we take off. With that being said, I'm sure you guys can hear these things are very loud. I highly recommend, if you have sensitive hearing, to go ahead, plug or cover those ears before we take off. I'm done yet. instance, this plant, it only grows to be 6 feet tall. It has to root on the bottom. So you know, if you see spatter dock, that water is no deeper than 6 feet. As you see looking up ahead, that spatter dock comes to an abrupt halt. That's because this natural flat comes to a halt. We are currently entering and crossing a man-made canal. Now, the earliest of these canals were started in the late 1800s. The reason being is at the time, our country believed that because they weren't dealing with your typical swamp. Little did they know, a river.
Come this way, buddy. There's our big guy. Notice how his head is around as big as my torso, and he is famous for his blinding speed and aggression. Blinding speed. He's a big old sweetheart. He's really not that bad. And try not to look so visibly disappointed he didn't rip off my arms, guys. Come on. But he is so big, though. People do ask us, how old is he, or how old is that one, or that one? And the truth is, we have no idea. There's no way to tell the age of an alligator by looking. No size or measurement tells you, so that's why I'm here. We cut him in half and count the rings. It's a live show full of horrible jokes, guys. You're going to have to work through the pain with me here. Yeah, way worse. But like I said, there's really no way to tell their age. An alligator's size is entirely dependent upon diet and environmental factors, not on how old they are. So any one of these alligators could be 20 or 75. We'd have no idea. But some records in captivity claim to have alligators over 100 years old, so they're very long-lived. Now, here we'll feed them raw chicken and other kinds of meat out in the wild. They're what you call an opportunistic hunter. They will eat anything from raccoons, turtles, fish, bird, deer, and of course, your favorite, tourists. Yay! Guys, there's over 1 million alligators out in the state of Florida. If they really wanted to kill any people, you'd have people dying every day. We got more people killed annually by vending machines than by alligators, and that is not a bad joke or a punchline. Guy gets angry. He can't get a candy bar. He'll shake a vending machine. He'll fall down and crush him. More often than people get killed by these things, which says everything you guys need to know about alligator aggressiveness and human intelligence. Speaking of, I'm going to grab an alligator. I kind of have like a specific rotation. And this guy's on the newer side, so he might be a little small, but since he is new, he still can be a little feisty. As you can see though, he is thrilled. He's like, no, I've been chosen. This gator's actually been dead for like a good 3 weeks. Alright, we're going to look inside of his mouth, guys. There are 80 teeth in here, 40 on the top, 40 on the bottom. Now, they naturally break their teeth off, grow them back, and they cycle through several thousand in a lifetime. Now, that comes in handy because how hard he can bite. A large alligator can bite down with an entire ton of force within that mouth. That is a whopping 2,000 pounds per square inch of power. Some of y'all don't look impressed with that number. Think about it, 2,000 pounds. That is enough power there to snap any bone in your weak, fragile, and frankly, pathetic human body and crush your skull like a potato chip. If you're still not impressed, that's because y'all are on the wrong side of the glass. Now, even though he can bite down so hard, you can keep his mouth shut with your bare hands, as you see me doing right now. All of that power is for closing. Very little for opening. So if you're ever about to be attacked, you just got to turn around, grab the jaws, you'll do great. You're going to want to watch your lesson. But we do have all of these alligators in here for a reason. We're actually an alligator rescue, and these are considered to be wild-caught, rescued nuisance alligators. Now, a nuisance alligator is one that shows up in a backyard, swimming pool, he ate Fluffy, stuff like that. Now, once when an alligator eats somebody's dog, the state of Florida sends out an alligator trapper to capture and kill the alligator. Unless that dog was a Pomeranian, they'll let that one go, it's fine, no one cares. But it's really sad. The state of Florida does kill over 8,000 nuisance alligators a year, which is really not their fault. It's usually a nuisance person that causes the problem. And by that I mean people that feed them. The second you feed this guy, he learns to associate people with food. You don't have the food, you are the food. That's why it's against the law to feed them. So what we do here, guys, is we do shows with these nuisance alligators instead of killing them and turning them into a pair of boots, which he obviously appreciates, right? Yes, he does. That's why we're an alligator rescue, because every gator you see here would have sadly been shot and killed if they weren't here with us. We're very fortunate enough to work with one of the only committed non-kill gator trappers around. I work under him and help rescue these guys out of people's backyards myself. One of them was caught at 4 in the morning on someone's front doorstep. Imagine, you're up early for work. You open your front door and surprise, he's sitting on your welcome mat. Literally what happened. Now that gator was promptly rescued. Again, I say the word rescue because if a different trapper showed up, they just shoot the poor guy, and that's that. Now the reasoning behind that is, though, as nuisance alligator trappers, none of them actually get paid to capture the gator. The gator itself is your payment, because if the state of Florida paid you with money and you ripped your arm off, you could sue the state for liability. So the state goes, no, we're not paying you crazy people. Your payment is the body of the alligator, thereby incentivizing other trappers to kill him, to sell the meat and the hide, and that's what the group that I work with are the only ones dumb enough to work for free. So we volunteer our time unpaid to rescue them out of people's backyards and swimming pools instead of killing them for a profit. And we rescued over 500 over the past several years. And whenever we get one from someone's backyard, they'll stay here for a little bit, right? We'll see if they have the right personality to be able to do shows. If they don't, we'll just send them straight to another alligator sanctuary. If they do, we'll keep him, train him, then retire an old one. So it's like a revolving door. They don't stay here forever. But sadly, in the state of Florida, the only options for nuisance alligators is captivity or death. The state does not allow the release or relocation of nuisance alligators back out into the wild due to their homing ability. What that means is, if I were to take this guy, drop him off 100 miles out into the middle of nowhere, give him a couple months, he will wind up in the very same backyard he was caught from. They use the Earth's magnetic field to find their way around, and that's also why alligators are recognized as such amazing navigators. Navigator. Don't worry, the rest of you will get in a couple minutes. Now, alligator wrestling, guys, isn't like real wrestling. I'm sorry I don't hurt, headlock, or body slam poor animal. There are no chairs involved. They are the techniques used by the native tribes of Florida. One of their maneuvers, though, is holding the jaws shut between your chin and your chest, allowing your hands to be free so you can take out a rope to tie the jaws shut. So you could bring the animal back alive to camp because meat would spoil very quickly out here in the hot Florida sun. Now this sounds like a horrible, dangerous idea, because it is. So I'll show it to you, but it makes a cool looking photo. I'm going to give you guys a thumbs out to the side like this. If anything goes horrifically wrong, switch your camera from photo to video. No. Chill. Stop trying to bite me. I get it. He got abducted by aliens, you know. He doesn't know what's going on just yet. Yeah. He's putting up quite the show, though. For the most part, if I use any other alligator, they kind of just sit there with their mouth open. And that's it. And everybody thinks they're dead. That we get asked all day is, why aren't they all attacking me? Why aren't they more aggressive? How am I still alive? And why do y'all look so disappointed I'm still alive? Now, the number one thing people think to themselves is, you just fed him, that's why he's so calm. And if you're thinking that, you're the first person to die. Feeding them does not make them calm and happy, it creates a feeding frenzy. It is the last thing we do for the week, then we go home. We don't come back in here because they're all going nuts. A lot of the time, though, people think to themselves, I feed my dog and he loves me, why wouldn't it be the same? Does this look like your dog? He does not think or act like your dog. He sees me as food. I bring food with me. That is what he calls a buy one, get one free. But when an alligator first comes in from the wild, guys, they don't act like this. He is going to try to kill me with everything that he has because he thinks I'm going to kill him. And he's going to defend himself out of fear. Once he realizes I'm not going to hurt him, he's honestly a lot more calm, relaxed. He's really tolerating a lot of this because he knows I'm no threat. But he also knows I'm the guy that does the show. Every day that I work, I do about 10 to 15 shows that day. Every gator does one. That's why you see me walking around. They're kind of just like, don't pick me, don't pick me. But does that make them tame or trustworthy? No. These animals only respect me so much if they have a reason to. I have to prove to them I'm food. That's hard to get. Every single one of them has tried to kill and eat me many times. And I have to stop them every single time. But notice, they're very lazy. So after a while, they're kind of just like, all right, whatever, it's not worth the trouble. But if I make it easy, if I were to trip and fall, my hand slips. If they think they can creep up on me, they will totally go for it. And it happens every day where one of them's going to try to see if I'm paying attention and nibble the back of my legs. And if I'm not, any one of these very, very lazy animals would rip my legs off, eat it in front of me, and not think twice and feel bad about it. Because he's an alligator, not a Labrador. There's never a bond, there's never a friendship. They're not my pets. I love them. They don't love me. Yes, they bite. This guy bit our old boss before. Okay, so he's your favorite. He's a good boy. Now, right behind the alligator's eyes are their ears. That little flap right there, for the people on this side, they can seal off their ears right there. Their nostrils on the back of their throat. Although alligators live underwater, they don't breathe underwater, but he can't hold his breath for an amazing 6 hours at a time. Look, he's gonna yawn. Now, you also might be asking, why are they so lazy? Well, they're cold-blooded animals. You guys, you're warm-blooded. You need to eat all the time to keep your metabolism up. They just need to sit in the sun to do the same exact thing. So out in the wild, an alligator can go 6 months to a year without eating. Not that they enjoy that, but if they're forced to, they can, so they can afford to be as lazy as they want to be. And the most important thing I can tell you about them is there's a reason to keep them around. People go out of their way to run them over or shoot them, you name it, because they think they're out to kill people, which is really not the case. They serve a very important purpose here in our Everglades. During our dry season, there will be some sections of Everglades that have no water. So in preparation, alligators will dig a pond for themselves called an alligator hole. And that pond they create becomes an oasis for other animals to drink the water and eat the fish that are collected there, which is why they also have the nickname of Guardians of the Everglades. And now, before I do my last trick, guys, let me tell you a little bit about myself. You don't think I'm a nut job. I know how it looks. I'm currently pursuing an environmental studies degree, and it's always been a dream of mine to work with animals and of course teach people about them. And I really do hope every single one of you here leave with a newfound respect for these very awesome and misunderstood creatures. Only downside though to working here, it's actually really dangerous, and due to the danger factor, I am legally not an employee of the park. That way I'm not on your insurance. That way if you did rip off my hand, I'm gonna get a SIM card and a kick out the door. Literally the healthcare plan here. Due to liability, all the wrestlers are unpaid volunteers doing the show for free, so if you guys enjoy the show, have fun, learn about gators, like the fact that we're a rescue, we save these guys. We really appreciate anything that goes in a little tip jar / hand replacement fund at the end. It's what allows our rescue to be able to function. And now for the not so fun part, so you guys can't sue me. Legal disclaimer, don't try this on your own. I am calm and comfortable around the animals, not because it's safe. I've received years worth of training, and I am what you call desensitized and mentally unstable. It does take one slip. You can lose life or limb. I'm lucky I haven't had any bad accidents yet. I've had a bunch of close calls. I've had some friends that did. One got bit in the hand, gator death rolled, snapped his bone in half. Luckily he kept that piece. His hand was just facing the wrong direction for a bit. Other guy though, he got grabbed in the bicep. The gator threw him off his back, death rolled, then popped his bicep muscle off the bone, ate the chunk of his arm, and he almost bled out. He died. Now, I'm not saying this to be dramatic. I'm not trying to scare you. I don't want you to be afraid of them, but I know I can make it look so easy. People forget alligators are powerful apex predators. Never try this or approach them, but they're not out to get you. They're not going to run and chase you down. That zigzag thing is a complete lie. I have never had to do anything faster than a speed walk to get away from an alligator on land. But everything changes when you guys feed them, swim in their habitat, or worst of all, try to touch them. If you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone. And now for the last trick. The last trick is called the face-off. It's called the face-off because if I mess up, my face comes off. You have to have a dark sense of humor, guys. Come on. So I'm going to open up his mouth, balance my chin on the edge of the open jaws, and if anything touches inside, they'll slam shut because it's a reflex. Nothing stops the jaws from closing. Yay. Hopefully he behaves. You weird. Bad dog. If you're a good boy, at the end of the show, I will get you a nice chihuahua. No, still got some zoomies in them. Hold up. Yeah? No. I can read his body language, so I can kind of tell when he's about to do something. And do everything nice and slow. I'm going to tilt your head back now. Do something weird. Alright. Notice, he just gets up and he waddles around and he's done. He's gonna lay there for the next 3 hours. Notice, like these guys, that's literally all that happens is I finish the show and they all kind of just collect in that corner until they get annoyed by the sun and go back in the water. But for you guys though, we're going to take out a baby gator and some other cool animals to check out. If you have any questions for me, I'll be standing strategically better. If it's our Venmo catch up, whatever. You guys enjoy the show and have fun? Awesome. Alright, so for you, it is right back this way for your baby gator photo / exit, and I hope you all have a safe trip home. Woo.